Hi folks, how you doing? Well, got another viewer question here. I got this some time ago and I answered it extensively in email, but I like to answer it on camera too. It's titled Relationships. Hello again, Kel. He writes, I know by now you probably dread seeing my name in your inbox. However, I have a question about what you think about this. I dated a girl my freshman year of high school, and she ended up dumping me. Then she approached me yet again my sophomore, junior year about trying again. Things seem to be progressing really good. However, I started taking college classes, and since she is in the band, we couldn't do things too much. Thus, we grew up farther apart. Now, for the third time, this gal has approached me after more failed relationships, and it seems as though she wants yet another go. I kind of like her, and some people have spurred me on. However, my mom, sister, and brother-in-law think I would be nuts to date her again. I am stuck in the middle, confused. Maybe she has changed, and things could turn out good in the long run. On the other hand, maybe it would be like the last two where things just ended. What do you think about the situation? Well, I think the fact she dumped you the first time, in my personal opinion, if a girl dumps you, it shows she's really not that into you. It really does. It also sounds like to me this girl is playing with you when you're convenient and wants to see you when it's convenient for her, until she can find someone better. And my advice is the same as your sister and your mom and your brother-in-law. They love you more than anyone in the world probably, and they want the best for you, and they can see more clearly even than I can see this is probably not a good thing for you. And my recommendation is to take their advice and move on. If this was going to work, it would have worked in the first place, okay? And some people and some women really aren't capable of real relationships, really aren't capable of real love. And women have a lot of power, especially young women. They're in their prime when they're 17, 18, 19, 20. They're in their prime. They're the most attractive they're ever going to be. They've got tons and tons and tons of guys hitting on them and wanting to have sex with them. And so they really, they treat relationships kind of like, whatever. They'll use you for a while, then they'll use someone else. And my advice to you right now is to not get back together with her. I will say this in their hand: if you're just looking to get laid and can hang out with her for a while and have some good sex, without getting your heart involved, that might not be a bad idea. Though I suspect from your letter that's not what's going to happen. You're probably going to go back, get together with her. You're going to get involved with your heart. She's going to see something a little more shiny out there somewhere. There's a little shinier than she thinks you are, and boom, you'll be dumped again. I used to think when I was a young man that this breaking up and getting back together, even after my divorce, thought it was kind of romantic. And I went through that with one girl in particular. She dumped me. A month later, calls back crying, "Oh, I love you. I want blah, blah, get back together with me." 2 or 3 months later, she dumps me again. 4 years later, she calls back again, wants to get back together again. The truth is, that girl, I think she just liked being single, and she liked having me in a relationship when I was convenient for her. But I was the one that got my heart totally destroyed and broken every time. I'm not talking about fights here. If you get in a fight with your girlfriend, and you both kind of just, and you walk away from each other, is one thing. That could happen. That could be excusable, though a lot of that means maybe you're not meant for each other anyway. But when you're just hard dumped by a girl, she's basically saying, you're not good enough for me, and I don't love you enough to stay with you. Women who really love you deeply, okay, aren't going to just walk away from it. They're going to hang on, And I don't think this girl, a lot of women, by the way, aren't capable of real love. They're just incapable of it, and real emotional attachment. And they'll use you for a while, and then you'll get your heart broken and be devastated. Then they'll come back again later on, and back and forth and back and forth. And I recommend you don't do that. Have more respect for yourself. There's lots and lots of women in the world, and as you get older, in your 20s and in your 30s, you get your career going, you're making money, you have some personal power, you'll find lots of women will be attracted to you. Women like power. Women like power, and they like strength in a man, and they lose their power, which is their looks, as time goes on. When they're 35, they're 25, 27, 30, that starts waning. They start losing their power. You start gaining a lot of yours. You have a lot of time in life to know women and date women. And this one here sounds to me like, it's just not good. And also I'll say is the more game you have, the more ability you have to pick up girls and talk to girls and meet girls and date girls, the less you're going to want to deal with a woman who mistreats you. That's also my advice. So develop your game, develop your skills, meeting women and talking to them and asking them out. And if you have a lot of that going on in your life, you're going to find you're going to put up with less and less bullshit from women as time goes on. you're going to walk away. And that's what I recommend you do here. I think she's using you. I think she's playing with you. And if you can do it without, you can go back and have some good sex for a while, without getting your heart broken, that'd be fine, But otherwise, I would say, because that's probably what she's doing with you. Otherwise, I would say, walk away. Have some respect for yourself. Treat yourself right. You're number one, and you should come first. In bed, she should come first, but you can always come later. But in life, you should come first. And your emotional stability and your heart should come first. So guard it. That's it. Hope it helped. Like I answered this fellow in a lot in email, and he's already heard a lot of this stuff, but I thought I'd answer on camera too. All right. Hope you enjoyed Sex with Kel. If you have a question about love, relationships, or sex, please write me, and I'll be glad to answer on camera.